So in my early 20s, I moved out to the middle of Austin, Texas on this mission to prove myself as a young boss lady. And so to save money and time, I would often meal prep on Saturday nights. But there was one problem. By the time Thursday rolled around, I would either get bored of that food or I'd just run out, which I'm sure you've been there. And so after some trial and error and many nights of Maggie, I discovered this salmon and rice bowl. And now to this day, this is actually a regular on my dinner lineup for 3 reasons. 1, it takes just 30 minutes to make start to finish. 2, it's delicious. And 3, it just happens to be good for you. So what's better than that? Let's dive into the kitchen and get started. For this recipe, you'll need salmon, of course. I love these pre-portioned packs to minimize prep. Then for marination, you'll need red chili flakes, garlic sauce, and Trader Joe's soyaki sauce, or any other pre-made marinade. If you can't find this, you can also make your own marinade with the spices listed here, or really just anything you can find in the kitchen. And finally, basmati rice. Now you could stop here, or you could elevate this plain white rice to a spinach pulao to add in some much needed veggies. For that, you'll need spinach, aromatics, and a few spices. Start by preheating your oven to 400 degrees. Start by laying the salmon fillets on a baking tray lined with aluminum foil. Add a tiny bit of oil and then the dry spices to each fillet. The oil here will just help the spices stick to the salmon better. Now lay the extra foil on top to create a bit of a steam chamber, or a sauna you could say, for the salmon. Place a tray in the middle rack of the preheated oven. Now, generally salmon takes around 60 minutes to cook, but since every oven is different, check on the fish from around the 40-minute mark. As with cooking any meat, use a thermometer to determine when the fish is done, which for salmon is at 145 degrees Fahrenheit. If the fish is not yet there at 14 minutes, just continue to cook in 1-minute intervals until it hits 145 degrees. Now, beware of overcooking the salmon since it'll become dry and tough and, well, not very appetizing. Oh god. Okay, so once the salmon is done, add a spoonful of soyaki to each fillet and you're done. Hi, Yogi. So at this point, dinner is ready. And this is a perfectly balanced meal. It's actually what I have most nights. You got the salmon with the soyaki, some plain white rice, and a little side of sriracha. But if you want to take it up a notch with spinach pulao, then hop on board because we are going to Flavor Town with Guy Fieri. Heat a pan with oil and add cumin and hing. Okay, so once the cumin and hing are aromatic, throw in the sliced onion and jalapeno. Normally, I'd add these in one at a time to let them cook individually, but this is a quick weeknight meal after all, so there's no time for fuss. Now lower the heat to medium-low and cook down the onions until they're dark and caramelized. This step will take the longest, around 15 minutes. Once those onions are caramelized and almost sticky, turn back up the heat and toss in a bag of spinach. Let it wilt for 30 seconds and then add in the cooked rice. Taste for seasoning and then let this cook until the salmon is done. And here you have it, our simple, delicious Indian salmon and rice bowl. Cost-wise, the salmon is $3.33 per serving, and the whole dish is just around $5 per serving. Not to mention, this meal is also perfectly balanced. It has around 500 calories with 17 grams of fat, which are mostly good omega fatty acids from the fish, 45 grams of carbs from the rice, and a hefty 28 grams of protein. Okay, so I know I have this meal every week, so it's not much of a surprise, but still, it's just so good, as you can tell by this happy dance. And so now, if you could excuse me, I'm gonna go eat my dinner. It's good. It's good.